safe inside. I got that checking to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call. For real. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. First and 10. Jones dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's got room. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a big 32-yard play on third. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Gone! Watch him now, Barney!
Here's Jones on first down. Forced out to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Levante David, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Jones, from the gun, he'll throw. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Looking for the end zone. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
come out throwing here to start the drive. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Dancing away at the 30. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. O.J. Howard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum down.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Jones on 1st and 10. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deeply. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. He's got it at the 15. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give him a gain of 37.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's caught. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. The point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
It's going to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Looking to throw on second down. Jones. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jones now operating from the gun. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Chambers. 18 yards there, down to the 18, and a first down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Throwing Jones. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Johnson, and this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 4th down, Jones. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They get 6 yards going for it on 4th, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And he fires Here's one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They give him a gain of 38. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
All right, here we go.
They'll drop the throw. A dump underneath to Jones. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out the zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. And his kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Now Jones being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. Jones buying time to his left. Taking a shot for Samuel. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort, making the catch despite the pass interference? Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Taking a shot for Samuel. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there for Carolina. 47 yards. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Here's a sneak with Jones. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now Jones, operating from the gun. Escaping the pressure right. And the pressure gets to him again. Levante David in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Jones. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! All right, here we go. 319! 319!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On 2nd down, it's Jones. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you tone that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Gone!
He'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Check, Patriot!
Back to throw now on first down. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go! Blue landed!
They'll set up a throw. Pass incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
Jones to throw on 2nd down. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
All right, here we go.
Here's Jones to throw again. Throw left side complete. That's Chambers. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, Jones eluding the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that...
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Jones throwing on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Jones looking to throw on 2nd down. Underneath for Johnson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Watch him now, Barney!
Jones now operating from the gun. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Chambers. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. Back to throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Bucs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Gone! Now let's go! Green, 30.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Jones on first down. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it'll be intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second, they did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And incomplete on the deep ball. The intended target was Chris Godwin. And now it's 2nd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10.
Now let's go.
They're going to look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Over.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. And tackle him almost on the spot. Then he's have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Give him 30 yards there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing on first down. Jones. Escaping the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
Go!
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. In for the score. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll look to throw here on first down. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jones on first and 10. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Over.
To throw on second down. Jones. Throw left side complete. It's Chambers. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And they're going to come up empty here on fourth down.
We've been at enough practices, and how many times have we stood on the sidelines and a unit goes out to kick a field goal and hear a special teams coach say, make sure you protect. First thing, protect. And here they give up a block.
Yeah, especially in a tight game like this, tied second half, this is when execution is so key.
They go over everything in the huddle. The last thing you're going to hear everywhere, make sure you protect. That didn't get done.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The false start backs them up 5, first and 15.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be second and 12.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Howard. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Here we go now. 3:19. 3:19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Again, it's Jones. And some room to work. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to take the lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced a 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. He's back to throw. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them in bounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his head. I've got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. Football League, Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you